Welcome to the podcast of School Beyond Limitations. In this podcast, you will learn how to guide your child through their school life with the intention to help them find their unique essence that will allow your daughter, your son to live a fulfilled and meaningful life. Why are the daily habits such important routines at School Beyond Limitations? My name is Dr. Martina Jeromin. I'm the co-founder, CEO, and the designer of the school model of School Beyond Limitations. If you aim for your child to live a fulfilling and happy life, then please subscribe to this channel. Well, in order to give you an answer on the question, why are the daily habits such important routines at School Beyond Limitations, I think it is important to start from what are actually the daily habits. We have a number of daily habits at School Beyond Limitations, and those daily habits, actually, we believe if they are taken on board on a daily basis, our students basically really learn to embrace learning at a larger level. So, and this allows them to actually see that the daily habits are not only limited to the class and to the lessons, but also they go beyond and they become a daily practice of their own lives. And let me just tell you those daily practices that we really encourage our students and ourselves to do on a daily basis. And it's basically 5 things, but 3 essential things. And the 5 things are also part of the holistic approach of School Beyond Limitations. So the 3 essential things that help our students to really become intellectual and also academic learners and beyond are daily reading, daily problem solving and mathematics, and daily writing, journaling. And then beyond that, also from a holistic point of view, we encourage them daily to build in routines such as physical exercises, not only during class, but also beyond. And then on top of that, also meditation, calming down, this connecting from, social media and being calm so that they can feel themselves. So you can imagine, let's just start with reading. So I just come now from a lesson with a class, and we talked about reading and what they read. So they shared their respective books within the class, and some of them said, I'm reading really every day, either 1 page or a chapter. You can imagine what happens if we get used to read on a daily basis, something new, something that takes me forward, that allows our brains really to create new connections within the brains. It allows us to become more interested in topics. It allows us also to listen to others. And in this case, for instance, we had such a rich sharing session where each student just shared their own respective books. And as you see, this also allows for the students to realize they don't have to read the same books because they may have different interests. They may have a different approach to reading. Some prefer to read fiction, others prefer to read non-fiction. Some prefer to read a long book, others prefer to read more a picture book with a little bit of text. But it's important for everyone to realize that their book actually matters, and the more they read, the more they will also establish their writing skills. And this is what they also said today in the lesson. They said, by reading, I realized that I can learn new words, I can learn the grammar better, I can learn how to think and look at life in a different way. I can find out more about my interests, about my likings, and about other people's likings. So it's really our concept to encourage everyone to read on a daily basis. And if we then share that reading, you can imagine then they create a book club or they can create a book review. And out of that, the students inspire one another, on top of actually in allowing our brains to just become more interested in different areas. That's reading. Then there is also the understanding of the importance of problem solving or mathematics. We always preach that problem solving or mathematics or any kind of thinking in mathematical ways really engages our brain again, and it's real life connecting, so we have to deal with mathematics or problem solving aspects on a daily basis. So we want our students to embrace mathematics or problem solving as a language. They understand that actually mathematics is not something for just a few students who find it interesting, or few students who have cultivated, their interest in math from the very beginning and had good experiences about math. We encounter constantly students who say about themselves that they are not good at math and that they don't like math, that they basically hate math. I was just also today again in one class, and this was when I asked these 8 students what they think about math. The majority of them said we are not good at math. And then we did an interesting exercise on our math continuum, and afterwards they realized, okay, it's not about me not liking math, it's actually about looking at math from a different angle. If I see mathematics as a possibility to also train my brain and work with my brain towards solutions, then the students just get fascinated about it. And this is what happened also today. There were a few exercises that they themselves set up for the respective other, and some of those exercises were actually also a little bit challenging. And I just told the students, listen, don't think in terms that there's just one way towards the solution. Think of how you would do it, but without calculator, without using necessarily now an extra tool. Just use your brain to get to the solution. And of course, there were different approaches with large numbers, very different approaches. And maybe they were also a little bit more complex than, the normal kind of approach in traditional school. But they could show, improve, that they reached the result, that they could understand, and they were able to explain it to the other students. So this is what we encourage our students to do and ourselves to do. Do mathematics, problem solving every day. That is also connected to financial education. It's connected to going to the shop. It's connected to, look at reality out of that perspective, so that students understand, okay, it's like learning a language. It's a new language and I can do it. And that means also that the students start twisting their mindset around mathematics, and that's the powerful thing about it. So daily math, and we ask our parents, of course, to provide that also at home. So because mathematics and reading, and now the next, which I will talk about, is writing and journaling, is not only something that we do in school. We encourage to do that also afterwards. You can imagine what happens if students then suddenly understand and realize, and gain this insight. Mathematics is not only doable, mathematics is fun. So, and that takes me to the third daily habit, which is writing, journaling. So journaling, and also the physical journal, not only, online, it's really a physical journal. It's something that I take into my hands, and I reflect. I use, the students are encouraged to not only look back at their day, they are encouraged to reflect on important questions such as, how grateful are you about your family? Or why is the sky blue? What do you think makes life a good life? What do you think people should do in order to create peace? What do you think is best in a relationship? It's really about reflecting and using their own handwriting skills that allows students to reflect back, to read it out to themselves, to make it part of their entire holistic experience. And by reflecting back, actually students realize, oh, what I have just written right now is really powerful. Today, for instance, I asked the students, why are daily habits so important? And they came up with wonderful ideas in their journaling question. They came up with ideas such as, it is important because it makes me reflect. It is important because I learn lots of new things. It's important because I can learn, to improve my language skills. It is important because I learn how to look at problems in a different way. It is important because I gain more knowledge and I can then share more knowledge with other people. It is important because it allows me to also reflect on my own development, and this is amazing. So this is just what they came up with, and the very beautiful thing about this is really that by reflecting, they become more aware of themselves. They become more aware of their own development. They can become more aware of the fact that they indeed are the creators of their own learning, of their own life, of their own decision making, of their own habits. Because if they introduce the habits on a daily basis, they see, wow, they get empowered, they get encouraged, they get inspired to do more. So these are the three magical habits or daily habits that we encourage our students to do, that are gained towards, also their academic and intellectual growth, but not only, also towards their emotional growth, their spiritual growth as well, because journaling is really about, getting connected with themselves. And then there are the other two daily habits that we practice in the school context, but also beyond. And it's interesting to see that even primary school students actually start doing them on a daily basis and encourage and invite their parents to do them with them. And that's a daily meditation, daily calming down, daily coming back and connecting with themselves and realizing that there is more to their life than just, the intellectual work and the intellectual machine. It's about just pausing. And by pausing and connecting, they realize that they are embedded in a bigger picture and they feel safe. So it's meditation, or it's just mindfulness exercises that can last 1 minute, 2 minutes, or longer. It depends. And then another aspect that allows our students to realize how important it is to have all the aspects of one person's life cultivated is, of course, sports, physical exercise. We encourage our students to go out, to go for a run, to go swimming, to feel their body, to get up, so that they Also today again in the lesson, I asked after the physical exercise, how do you feel now? And they said, well, I now feel energized. So my brain is now ready to embrace intellectual food also. So these are the daily habits. And I think you can imagine how powerful that is if we are doing that on a daily basis, and if they become just a second nature. A second nature. This is what we aim to do. A second nature, that I take my journal with me everywhere, that it is with me where I can jot down also some ideas that come to mind, so they learn how to use the journal. And if I don't have it with me, that I take notes somewhere else, but I bring it back onto the journal, that I read every day, that I actually have a physical book in my hand all the time, and that I create a relationship to it, that I create, this kind of understanding. Reading is growing, is developing, is improving, is opening up, is the possibility for sharing, the possibility for connecting dots that maybe before were unclear. It's understanding that artificial intelligence is great, but I have the understanding to use it because I have the background knowledge, and I'm educated. I know how to deal with it. I know how to integrate it in a healthy way. And then, of course, problem solving. I think I said it already a number of times. If I can, if I'm prepared to look at problem solving from a very, effective and engaging point of view, I see that's part of my life. It's a language that should be part of my life. And if I'm doing that on a daily basis, the mindset of saying I'm not good at mathematics will just disappear and dissolve. So this is what we are doing at School Beyond Limitations. And if you think that this is something that you would like your child to experience as well, then you may want to get in touch with us, and you will find the website to our to School Beyond Limitations in the description, and I'm looking forward to meeting you soon. At School Beyond Limitations, we support our students find their unique essence. Feel free to share the content of this podcast with other parents. We are here to show that your children can indeed bring their unique essence into life. So, reach out to us if you think that this is what you'd like your daughter, your son to experience, or apply through our website. Also, leave your comments, your questions, or your review about the podcast. Share it with others. And as you know, sharing is caring.